Republicans are also opposed to the climate and social spending bill, and Manchin has emerged as a roadblock for Democrats on all of the three areas highlighted by Sanders. The White House and top Democrats are expecting a highly anticipated estimate from the nonpartisan Budget Office. That's so they can know what the budget deficit is going to be. Now, according to the White House Deputy Press, the Congressional Budget Office does not have experience analyzing revenue.
On Build Back Better. Madam President, now that President Biden has enacted his once-in-a-generation infrastructure bill, Democrats are taking the next steps towards passing the rest of his Build Back Better plan. The last year and a half have been unlike any in modern U.S. history. We've had a once-in-a-century pandemic followed by the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've come a long way this year as we've lifted our country out of the depths of these crises. But the challenges, of course, aren't over. Americans right now want us to lower costs for things like health care, prescription drugs, child care. We have a responsibility to pass legislation that will cut costs and improve American lives. That's why we need to keep working on passing Build Back Better. We know that passing this critical legislation will lower costs from some of the most basic and essential things in everyday life. And as economists from leading rating agencies said yesterday, Build Back Better will not add to the inflationary pressures in the U.S. economy. The child care provision could alone save families thousands of dollars each year. Families on average spend $10,000 annually on child care for each child under 4. A generation ago, this was unheard of. Build Back Better will dramatically lower costs for millions of families by providing the largest investment in child care in American history. The same goes for prescription drugs. If you're one of the roughly 10 million Americans who relies on insulin to manage your diabetes, chances are you've been spending more and more as the cost of this once affordable drug has skyrocketed. It's truly one of the perplexing and frustrating trends of the past 2 decades. Well, Build Back Better will make it so Americans with diabetes don't pay more than $35 per month on insulin by enabling Medicare to directly negotiate prices in Part B and Part D. Again, lowering costs, improving the lives of millions of families. Examples go on and on, how people will have more money in their pocket given their expenses. Build Back Better cuts taxes for parents raising kids. It makes pre-K universal for the first time ever. It will provide help for small businesses to invest within the U.S. and hire American workers. And ultimately, it is the best thing we can do to recapture that sunny American optimism that's been the key to our country's success.
So the question now facing Democratic leaders is whether those assurances from the White House will be enough to comfort moderates who have said they will not pass the stimulus checks into law. That's bad news, everybody. But still, the fifth advanced child tax credit payment is being distributed by the IRS starting Monday, sending an estimated $15 billion out to all Americans. Now, everybody, those who have signed up for direct deposit with the IRS will receive their payments first. After this month, families who qualify for the advanced checks can expect to receive one more this year. That's in December. They will also receive the other half of the child tax credit when they file their taxes next year. The signed-up parents can go directly to the IRS's website and use the child tax credit portal. And currently, the enhanced tax credit expires after this year, but Democrats are pushing for it to be extended into at least 2022. Folks, that's good news for all of us. Everybody, breaking news about the Social Security benefits, your stimulus checks, the fourth stimulus checks, and of course the unemployment benefits that you have to know. Stay until the end of this video to find out the most important stimulus check news. So the Social Security Administration will be increasing monthly benefits for the average senior next year. In 2021, the average Social Security benefit came out to be around $1,565. That's after a 5.9% COLA is scheduled to go out into effect next year. The average benefit will rise to about $1,657 according to the SSA. This means that the average couple could see roughly $3,000 a month. The roughly $100 increase comes after a year of unprecedented inflation, Over the past 12 months, prices have increased 6% in nearly all major sectors, and especially important for seniors in every major grocery store category. And in fact, cola increases in the past couple of years have been around 1 to 3%. This year's cola adjustment is one of the highest in decades. Forbes estimates that the increase in benefits will help out nearly 62 million Americans who received the Social Security benefits in January 2022. Americans who receive SSI benefits will be able to see their increases a little sooner, beginning on December 30th. The administration estimates that the increased payments to SSI beneficiaries will reach about 8 million people overall. And for those who receive SSI, this amount is expected to increase to $821 in 2022, up from $794 per month in 2021. The $47 increase will help everybody that's on the Social Security benefits. And if you receive both SSI and regular Social Security payments in 2022, this can mean nearly a $2,500 per month stimulus check. If you are scheduled to be a recipient of benefits in 2022, the SSA will notify you via mail and online beginning in December. And now Americans are waiting on a fourth stimulus check. But do you believe it can be approved, folks? Tell me in the comments down below. I truly appreciate everybody's amazing support, and if you have any more questions about this, leave them in the comments below.
Madam President, day after day, here on the floor of the Senate and back in their states, many of my colleagues talk to the American people about how deeply concerned they are about the deficit and the national debt. They tell us that we just don't have enough money to expand Medicare, to cover dental care for seniors, to cover hearing aids, to cover eyeglasses. We just don't have enough money to do what every other major country on earth does, and that is guaranteed paid family and medical leave. At a time when hundreds of thousands of bright young people are unable to afford a higher education and millions are struggling with student debt, my colleagues tell us that we just don't have enough money to provide 2 years of free tuition at community colleges. When we have over 500,000 Americans sleeping out on the streets, including a few blocks away from the nation's capital, we just don't have enough money to build the low-income and affordable housing this country needs. And at a time when the scientists are telling us that we face an existential threat in terms of climate change, we are told that we just don't have enough money to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel and create a planet that will be healthy and habitable for our kids and future generations. Just don't have enough money. Yet today, the U.S. Senate will begin consideration of an annual defense budget that cost $778 billion. $778 billion for 1 year.